Alright. Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to another episode into my video log series going over my design process for the level design competition for NXT Ubisoft 2026 competition. This is marking 7 days until the first part of NXT needs to be submitted for review to see if I become part of the top 10 students going into the next phase of the level design challenge. So for a quick reminder to those of you who maybe are looking at this in the future, maybe you're looking at it now, for level design for NXT, the first phase requires you to pitch your idea to Ubisoft along with a level layout and I believe your references. And then if you have a good enough pitch and you could be chosen by Ubisoft to be part of the top 10 who are advised by official game designers from Ubisoft and actually start blocking out the level. So I will be submitting this video series along with my write-up about my level, along with this level layout here. So here, let's go into what I've done since the last level. Since the last log. So last time I only had the first, not really the first floor, but the lower deck finished. And I talked about some design stuff I wanted to do, especially with the food elevator which came up. I've moved the position of it slightly to change how it is on the other levels, but we're getting into it. Before I made a comment on finding a reason for the player to enter into the engine room, which is this area over here. And I believe I've come to a decent enough conclusion on why the player might want to come over here. So I thought, how are we going to have it so the player can turn off some security systems? And I thought, what if there was a way to turn the power off? Where would the player go to get the power to turn off? Probably where all the electrical stuff would be located, which would be in the engine room. So here I decided to add a little engine box here, or electrical box here, in the engine room. If the player goes up to this, they can activate it and turn off the power. I imagine it'll greatly make the level easier by disabling security cameras, such as the one over here, and also making it so there's less light in the level and the player can sneak around more easy when approaching enemies. And that's pretty well all I've changed from the bottom floors, which is the lower deck, and my work from today has been going towards the upper deck. I'm kind of working a little bit backwards here, starting with the back end of the boat and then moving my way up, even though I intend for the player to... The intentional way would be start over here. I've split part of the boat. So in my references to actual yachts, the one I was taking heavy inspiration from, I found that there wasn't a clear shot from starting at this... I guess... I don't know the proper terminology for a boat, but I know starboard is right and port is left or something, but the front of the boat, let's just say that, the front of the boat, and if they went left or right, they could see directly down to the very end of the boat here. This is a solid line, there was no wall here. I decided to change that up to add a couple of stairs on either side here, going up into the upper deck level, and then having it so in order to progress through the main deck, the player would have to go through this entrance here. I talked to my professor about this sort of stuff and how to break up the level to make it better for optimization, and he suggested to break the level into chunks that will be loaded in to make it easier for the game to run. So one of the suggestions he had was to add this spacer here. So I probably have to put a little symbol here to know that this is a lower level than here, but this is big wall block in the way, and these stairs here. If the player stands here, I don't know why I pointed at the screen. If the player stands here and looks this way, this area here will be not really unloaded, but it'll have lower level of detail to make things more optimized. But anyway, starting from back here, this area I decided would be a nice little, kind of a sun deck. Not a sun deck, because sun deck is the top floor. Just a little spot with a couple of chairs and some tables for the captain and his... I guess he's a captain, but he's also the senator. The senator and his... the senator and his not really accomplices, but like his associates, let's say that, can just look out and enjoy the view from their yacht. And then heading up this way, the player will have the option of either going down the left path, the right path, or going down center. I'm taking inspiration from a lot of FPS maps where I've never played Counter-Strike, but I know a lot of maps are similar where you can go down left, right, or center. And I think the design of the yacht itself can really play into that, and it kind of helps to just it really makes it have the player have more options to approach. Essentially, there's 5 options here. There's left, right. There's left, right again, going up to the second floor, the upper deck, and then also going center to go into the main. I don't know if it's the main building part, but the main structure of the yacht itself. So moving ahead here, there is this enemy. He is kind of looking out over the ship. I imagine he'll spin around, or he'll have some sort of path, maybe going around the this pool here. As I was working on the yacht, I was trying to think of fun, unique room shapes to help to make things not as samey. I felt like when I was doing the lower deck level, like the little barracks where the crew stay, it's kind of, the rooms are a little too square, and I think, like, especially over here, just square rooms connected by square hallways is kind of boring. I think it'd be fun to have some unique shapes, so I thought of the idea for a little pool with like a circular shaped room that the player can go around, and that little hexagonal. This is supposed to be a sauna over here. I feel like it's the ultimate rich guy thing to have a pool on your yacht. Like, you're given this beautiful body of water to swim in, but you're like, nah, I'm gonna have this tiny little thing to swim in. Anyway, over here. So, I'm sorry. My main thinking with the upper deck, not the upper deck, the main deck, is that this is where all the fancy stuff goes, where that the senator wants to, like, experience with his guests and stuff. The lower deck is going to be your maintenance-y stuff. It's going to have your crew's quarters, all the stuff that you wouldn't want to show off to, like, investors or fellow important political people. Like, not to show off the luxury of the yacht itself. This is more of, like, the maintenance. Yeah, let's say that. I think you understand what I'm saying, hopefully. Anyway, there's a little bar over here. This is a little sauna. I put this guy here. I'm kind of working out the density of the enemies here, but I kind of want to have this guy here because I thought it'd be really funny if you could, not really funny, but I think it'd be really fun if the player could find a way to trick him into going into the sauna for like a unique takedown, maybe like an achievement of sorts. I think that's a fun idea. I don't know if it's been in any other games before, but I think I've seen it in a lot of media where like a player, not really a player, but like an enemy trapped in a sauna and like left in there. I've been trying to do everywhere I have an enemy, I've been trying to do like a spot to hide the body in a sense. Or maybe not like in the hide, but like hide the unconscious victim. Let's say that to make things a little bit less aggressive. But I feel like that's a good idea, especially with patrolling enemies that are going throughout the level. You want the player to be able to engage in the mechanic of needing to hide bodies, or else they'll be detected, which is something I'd like to experiment with. Also, I think this is a good opportunity to test out distraction mechanics. So, from my understanding, Ubisoft gives you the assets necessary to build the level as well as the enemy AI. In the event that I don't get chosen among the top 10 level designers for NXT, I'm working on this for a assignment for one of my classes. I'll still be developing things. I'd love to figure out how to blueprint a way to get the enemy AI to go into this little corner here with distraction mechanics. I think it'll be a fun proof of concept, and it'll be really cool to see on my demo reel and just in general to see in this level. I think it'll make it stand out and look cool. Excuse me. Anyway, this area here kind of became a unique hallway shape. I thought it'd be cool to make a little leisure area here. This is like a really long L-shaped couch. It's a nice little table. I had some chairs around it here, but I thought it was kind of weird to have chairs like right in front of this doorway. I might move this, but I'm not 100% sure. Little hallway here, little bathroom here. The bathroom here is to break up the camera. I imagine the camera can like sees here, switches over and sees here, so the player can sneak by when the camera's facing this way and then hide in the bathroom while the camera pans over and they can sneak around and continue throughout the level. This area here, I needed something by the kitchen, which was this here. The kitchen this is the main floor kitchen, and it had to be connected to the food elevator here, or else it wouldn't make sense why there really would be the food elevator here in the first place, aside from the fact that the chef's supposed to be a gourmand. And this area here was supposed to be like a food locker, food storage area food elevator. The reason it's there is so that the chefs can prepare stuff down here and then send it up to the upper levels of the ship and then all the other floors. So this area here will be a kitchen, and this one here will be a dining room. I thought it'd be pretty cool if there was this one really long table here with a bunch of chairs and then a couple of smaller tables to sort of break up the room, and this would be like a stage where the senator would have some maybe some celebrities or some I don't know, important people to come by and perform for the aristocrats along the ship. Over here is the gym. I got a reference to a boat I saw like a layout for that had a gym on it, and I thought it'd be it's another thing that a rich guy would have on a boat. I like to imagine it was the senator's wife's idea to put this on the boat, and it hardly gets used. Probably why I don't intend to have it connected to this area over here. I think it's fun narratively that the senator specifically requested that the gym be as far away from the kitchen as possible. Or actually, maybe it'd be better if it was closer to the kitchen so he could grab a snack after working out. But I don't know. Sorry. Didn't mean to get lost in thought there. Another bathroom over here to hide the body or something. I have a lot of bathrooms on here, but I feel like it would make sense on a ship like this, especially if there's no way to get over here. You'd have to walk all the way around to get to the bathroom over here. But anyway, moving on for this area here, I would like to have, I think it'd be cool if there was a big home theater, like a couple of rows of seats and a big TV projector, probably around right over here next to the kitchen so that some snacks can be delivered right to the senator while he's watching a movie he enjoys. This part here is going to be in the main stairwell. I had the idea when looking up some blueprints for yachts, and they had this little center area here where the player can essentially go to every floor of the ship in one singular spot. I think it'd be if the player knows where they're going, it makes it so it's easier to replay and get to certain parts because they'll have this central this central stairwell here. This is supposed to be a different symbol because it's supposed to denote that you can go down from here and then you can go up from here. It also gives it a way to traverse between the floors without having it be a direct stairwell line. I don't know if I'm explaining this entirely correctly, so let's do a layer here and then just do a little diagram to show. So let's assume the player starts here and they travel this way. They may go over to the stairwell here. They can go up this floor and then they'll arrive here. If they want to go to the next floor, they can take a quick turn up this way and then they'll be, I don't know, up to here or something. I haven't quite done the done the upper deck just yet, but that is on the way. That is my progress mostly for today. I didn't have much time to work on the level layout last week, aside from just finishing up some basic stuff here with the lower deck and just finding out where everything needs to be placed and just designing the layout in general. Throughout this assignment, I found that my I wouldn't necessarily say my skills, but my understanding of how to do level design within a constraint space like this yacht has been improved. Especially considering I started here and this feels a lot more open and blocky here, and then it's become a more unique shape here with more options for the player to go, with more hallways, more rooms, and then it's culminated into this area over here with more uniquely shaped rooms with unique hallways, multiple branching paths, and more varied enemy placement. So ideally, when we get to the sun deck, it's going to be the best floor I've done yet, but here's hoping, right? I think that's probably about it for now. In terms of how I'm feeling about getting this done for the 27th, I'm feeling pretty confident. I'd like to have this done by Friday, ideally. For context, it's Monday right now, and then it's due next week on Monday. I will be probably doing maybe 1 or 2 more videos before it's due for sure. The last one will be a proper run through, proper run through of the entire level with. I do want to make a good copy of this, which also shows a bit of the sandbar, because I want the player to explore the sandbar that they're on a bit too, that the boat is beached on. Excuse me. And probably another introduction to the series. Not really the series, but just my entire design process again for that final episode before it's due. In the event I'm not chosen, I'll probably still continue this series. Just as I progress, maybe I wouldn't call it NXT log anymore. Maybe I'd just call it like developer log. I really would like to continue expanding on this project. It's been a lot of fun to work on so far. But anyway, I appreciate you for listening. I will keep you updated, ideally, and yeah, hopefully when you see my next video here, I'll have a lot more progress done, and you'll be interested in playing it yourself. My level by that is. Anyway. Excuse me. See ya.